In the nick of time.
Hey, who has to drive the farthest to get here?
Not me.
Run errands on
Yes.
It's 8:30, we're gonna go ahead and start. Roll call. Nikki. Here. Are you? Rachel. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. Rachel, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Here.
Nikki La.
Here.
I can be doing.
Sure.
Okay. Cora Smith here. Sorry. I wasn't glad. Amy Giller here. All right. Epigara
Here.
and Gilbert.
We need to approve two.
And I don't think that's.
Absent.
We need to approve two sets of minutes. Hopefully all, if not somebody, read them. Anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Anyone opposed? Minutes are approved. Public comment for anything that's not on our agenda.
The car festival. Tomorrow night.
Oh, yes.
Street music and car festival tomorrow night.
And Burger Night of the Legion. Everything right downtown.
What more?
You get the American Legion, yeah, everything right downtown.
Anyone else for public comment of anything that's not on our agenda?
Festival, if you haven't registered, we have less than 150 to go. It's been crazy and amazing and wonderful, so thank you for your support. So,
And,
we'll tell you when we know, we'll tell you.
I'm getting this email.
No, and you'll have time to do that, once we announce, there'll be time to do that. I can't remember, that's why I did it.
Not on the agenda. Cora emailed me. I have not been downtown much, but Cora said she's looked at the flower beds. And
I
she's
don't know how much you've seen.
been a lot of deadhead. She's done a lot of deadheading.
Just in like one block area, that I walk regularly.
Well, give yourself some credit.
So I just don't know if, we had talked about National Honor Society donation and if that was gonna happen, if they were going to be taking care of stuff. So I just wanted to maybe kind of circle back or maybe check in with them or see what was going on, because we know that no one showed up to help plan, so. And I know that obviously geraniums need to get deadheaded a lot more often than possibly like going down and doing a check-in once a month. That's like kind of a once a week, once every couple of days, possibly even thing, so.
Does anyone know the contact?
I do.
Oh, you do? Would you be so
Yeah.
kind?
Yep.
So we know if we need to do a donation or not.
I'll do.
Do we have any trouble with any of the waterings?
Yeah, what I do is because I reached out to you
Yeah,
a month or two ago
yes.
on this, and I try to go out on Sunday mornings before there's a lot of people out there to deadhead, and some of them aren't getting water.
Maybe we need to check in with Lucas and just.
There's a couple places where there isn't water.
Oh,
We knew that going in.
Oh,
In front of Hilda, that
Could
block,
be.
there's no water.
okay.
I can check in with Lucas. Everything's going well. Okay, moving on. Downtown enhancement. Merchants Walkway update. I don't think there's anything to really update. We're waiting for the survey to be completed, a full survey to be completed. And then we'll get, I did get an email from Vanessa the other day, and as soon as that's completed, they'll be able to do the full mock-up for us, so. Anyone have any questions about that? Moving on to other business, old business. The hiring committee comes before you today with a recommendation for a new DDA director. Would any of the hiring committee like to give a little 2-minute spiel on who we're recommending?
Yes, I can. So we sat through
interviews. Multiple people sat through different interviews and the hiring committee had decided that we were gonna go with Becky. The reason behind it was we
Becky
felt.
Goodman.
Becky Goodman. Reason behind it was we felt she had a tremendous amount of experience dealing with coming from the city of Petoskey. We felt like she knew how everything worked within a DDA and within a city. We also felt that she was perfect because she was looking for more of a part-time role, but was also very flexible and also able to not have to learn the position and would be able to jump into the role. And especially knowing some of the bigger issues that the DDA is looking at, she wouldn't have to figure out who the players were, how to file things, and she would be able to give us a good direction in the way that this board is looking to go as far as the DDA is looking. So we thought she was the best candidate that we had interviewed.
And quite honestly, I feel like we should really feel honored that she even applied.
100%. She has done
If
her
anyone hasn't
resume.
worked- Yeah, if anyone hasn't worked with her or doesn't know her, she's an incredible person.
Yeah.
She does incredible things for Petoskey. She's a very, very strong leader for all of those things.
Her resume read very, very strong. And I think we would be very lucky as a city as a whole to even have her, even if it was for the minimum of 2 to 5 years. I think she's a fantastic option.
There's a little caveat to that she isn't available until the first of the year, which the hiring committee believe that we can
manage.
we have one big project right now. The second one was to find a new director. And again, I absolutely agree with Cora. We were honored. When I got it, I think my eyes fell out of my head, the resume. She's also very willing. I think we all asked the question at one point or another, if she'd be willing to train her replacement when she retires. She is retiring from the city of Petoskey after 18 years. No particular reason except for she's subtly worn out, but she knows she can't sit at home, and she thought this was the perfect opportunity. And I think for both parties involved, it's the perfect opportunity.
It's also a full-time job over there. Yeah,
Plus,
but yeah, full-time plus.
they're turning her position into 2 positions. For the record, Nikki, I'd have to ask you if you were willing to sign this, you just didn't get there, so.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you signed it?
I did.
We have one signed? Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Brought it down to me and everything.
So we'll need someone to put a motion forward to proceed forward with Becky Goodman for a fee of $35 per hour, 20 to 25 hours per week.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I will let Becky know. That's very exciting. Very exciting. We need to appoint an acting director. He's already been kind of taking on some of the responsibilities already, and thank you. I'll need a motion to appoint Rachel as the acting director so that we don't have to come together for special meetings for $1,000 bill or something along those lines. Anyone for a motion?
I'll motion for that.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Congratulations. You get more work. Well, thank you very much. No, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you very much.
Very
for
much
helping.
so. Financial report. Thanks, Nick,
Yeah,
for being here.
everybody have in front of them or on the screen.
I'm on the screen.
Right. As you can see, there's not a lot of changes between now and the last month. Property taxes or tip capture is coming in. I actually think that we're going to be a little bit above what I expected of 62,000. I think we'll probably come in closer to 65, 68. Special assessments are coming in as well. Other than that, we have no other real income because we haven't done any festivals or anything this summer, but wages have tapered off, obviously, since we don't have any acting director. One thing that I would point out would be legal fees, as we both all know, are a little higher than what we had budgeted for with emergency walkway work and title work and surveys and such, but that's something we can amend at the end of the year. Other than that, no real shockers or surprises in finances.
One thing to note is that Rachel will be keeping track of her hours and Nick will just do the appropriate move from funding. So we will be paying for Rachel's services. But it's an obvious. Anybody have any questions for Nick? Well, that was quick. Thank you, Nick. Public comment, and that's on. Oh,
Yeah, it was on our agenda. It was in our packet.
was?
Yes.
Oh, no, I just sent that. That was just an FYI that I
Oh,
sent, the Pure Michigan updates. I didn't know if you all got them, so I just sent that along. Any other public comment, questions? Well,
I do think
Oh,
though
wait.
that we need to, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Wendy Reed. My concern is the Vitara's current liability exposure due to the condition the steps on the Merchants Walkway has been in for the last 15 months. I've been informed by my attorney that if anyone is injured because of the unsafe condition they are currently in, the property owners will be the first party named in a potential lawsuit. That would be us. If the DDA in the city of Harbor Springs has not corrected the grade changes in the plaza, which caused the steps to be unsafe by November 1st, or by our first snowfall, the Vitars are going to be forced to protect ourselves as well as any potential pedestrians by chaining off the walkway at the top of the steps. It will remain closed until the plaza surfaces have been ameliorated. You people did this. You left it that way for 15 months. The city has put in notices. But when the boardwalk was closed, it was closed off like it was a crime scene. Anybody can still walk through this place. And when it snows, you won't be able to see the grade changes, which are going to cause it to be, unsafe. So we would be forced to protect ourselves by chaining it off. If the city objects to us chaining it off, then 100% of the financial exposure liability is going to shift to the city. So I can't imagine why we would say we can't do it.
Hold on. I asked Rocky to.
So, is it the last step? Because now,
The last step is the one that's of concern,
okay,
but the last step is, I believe, on the city property. The first 3 steps are on our property. If you're an attorney, you're probably going to sue everybody in sight, and we would be one of the potentials in mind.
that is a true statement.
I don't want to be involved in anything that has anything to do with that.
So what I'll do is I'll go take a look at it. Basically, code says all the steps have to be the same, maximum 7.25 rise. So if we have to put one additional step to make it safe and in compliance, we'll go ahead and do so. And we'll probably put signage additional,
No, we did that.
well, just specifically for the steps. To make sure that people are aware. So that can be addressed in that motion too. Was there any other unsafe?
There,
Until-
it is unsafe every place that you enter the surface and leave the surface. So the walkway to Bay Street, if you were to catch your toe on one of those because you don't see it in the snow, you're gonna fall flat on your face. The same with if you continue down it towards Pearson's. It's a very small chance, but if you were to try to go through onto Jones' property, you're gonna do the same thing there. None of those are a potential problem for the guitars. It's only the steps that's my concern.
So we'll address the steps and we'll go ahead and put some yellow on any risers when you're stepping up.
Nobody uses it in the winter anyway, so the whole thing should just be chained off.
I kind of agree with you that basically once summer's over, it's going to be a construction site and it's going to be closed to the public. We'll obviously address it with the DDA. Once it becomes a construction site, we're closing it off. And that would be something we can entertain and do, but I'll take a look at the steps, see if I can come up with a solution to remove that liability from you and from the city, and we'll address it, I would say in the next couple of days.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
I was just gonna say, I definitely agree that in the winter time, if for some reason, when we are in the process of, we're told that the survey we had done did not assess every single part of where the property touches, like your property and everyone else's. So we had to get a full survey done that includes that. So which kind of pushed us further back, but they needed that in order to do the leveling and everything and make it all safe. So then we go into engineering and then we go into bidding. And if for some reason, obviously, we can't get that done, I mean, everyone knows how hard it is to get construction done in a timely fashion. I definitely agree. And I think it should be completely closed. I think that we should talk to the neighbors because many other neighbors have raised concerns about it. And I think that it should be closed, but unfortunately, if it's closed to everyone, just like the boardwalk was, that means it's also going to be closed to the neighbors as well. It can't be like, well, I get to go back here because it's my property, or I get to go back here because then it does have a liability.
We had
issue.
entertained
So-
the idea of closing it, and it was an absolute pushback to say that we absolutely could not do that.
The neighbors would have to fend for themselves. I'm only looking at our issue, and our issue is just that.
The other two things that you mentioned at the latter part, none of our demolition of that area, those have been there forever, those last two.
Yeah, that hasn't, towards Pearson's, we haven't done anything towards that area.
No, there is a great change because you enter the, shall I call it the Fountain Plaza? There's a great change. You have to step up onto the part you didn't demo. So every one of those is a possibility to catch your toe and fall flat on your face. If it's covered with snow, you don't see it.
I'm pretty certain that area is going to be closed for construction with signage
By winter, close to everybody.
and OSHA compliance to alert people that it's closed up. And if you go in there, you're going in at your own risk, basically. We'll take pictures of it for our records, maybe do a daily report to capture all that. And
But yeah, just like the boardwalk, I mean, we have every intention of once we get the survey done, it will be, and once it's a construction site, we've already
It's probably
discussed it.
gonna
will
be a
be.
spring thing because you can't pour concrete after a certain time.
We really don't know.
Yeah, but in the winter time saying, because it will be a construction site, just like what Rocky had said, it will be, whether we started to rip it up or not, it's going to be a construction zone to be unsafe, so, yes.
I have a comment if I can
Okay.
address the design. Okay, so basically, I think what we should do is fast track the design. We shouldn't wait till it's 100% complete and then argue about whether it's going to work or not. I think the board should be involved in the 50%, once they get it 50%, and then at 90% and 100%. Because this way we can approve everything as it goes, that it's correct. And once it's done, we're ready to go. It should go out for bid this fall. We have winterizer we can add to the concrete, so if it's a little bit cold, we can still pour concrete and get it done with a quality matter, so there'll be quality control on that. So it is possible to get it done this fall.
I think the biggest part of us not being able to do that in the spring, like we had originally discussed and what was brought up in the last meeting we had, when Matt had brought up, possibly doing something a lot less than what we had discussed was the people did not want the design or the thought process of what we did. So pushing forward without approval is going to give us a pushback with the surrounding neighbors. So we're kind of in a big catch-22 of what to do. We have people that want it done. And we wanted to get it done with what we wanted to do in the spring, or we need to go through with the bid and the plans and what we talked about to appease the surrounding neighbors and the buildings and the owners. So we don't get a massive amount of angry people coming at us. So.
Which is why we really,
which is why we're here.
which is why we're here, but we also, did away with the Merchants Walkway
Yeah.
Committee.
Yeah.
And brought it back to the board here
So we
for
can move
decision making.
faster. Yes.
Rocky, I thank you for offering to go in and do that. I would like it noted that, I mean, since it is also most of that city property, we need to have Lucas involved in that one as well.
Yeah.
Just because legalities.
I have a cell, we can work it out.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay.
So, but
And then-
can we discuss the design thing?
Well, we
Just put
haven't,
it up.
we don't even have a design to approve.
Understood. Once they get to 50%, can they share it with us? Just send them an email, share it with us so we can look at it and say, yeah, proceed forward. This is the right concept. Because you don't want to wait for 100 and then we're arguing back and forth or discussing back and forth whether this is going to work or not. So in each process, if we break it down to 3 processes and they're simple, you just look at it, say, yeah, proceed, or make this change right now. Because if you wait till 100 and then you got to make changes, then it gets delayed even further. That's my recommendation. So 50, 75 and 100% would be good.
Matt, would we have to bring that to the city every time we did that though? Because the DDA can't, I mean, granted, the DDA is paying. How do you see that? How would that work with what he just said? Because we brought every step that we've done to the board or to the city thus far. How would this part work if we wanted to try to speed it up to get it done a little faster?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You'd have to check with Victor on that. But I would assume you'd have to.
So
get
every
through
single one of
step.
those would be 50%, maybe if it's ready by September, and then 75%, we'd have to wait till October meeting, because I mean,
I can't speak for Victor and I can't speak for council. But if you're simply telling OHM, hey, like if you're 50% done, can we view it? And you're not finalizing anything
Correct.
because it hasn't gone to council.
Yeah,
So I don't see an issue. I mean, we would do the same thing with the parks if we went that route.
okay,
And then you say, and then when you have the final, and then you say, okay, now we take it to
And-
council.
okay.
And this will help us also keep the cost down, because if we see something drastic and the cost is gonna go up and blow our budget, we can say at 50%, switch it around and do something different.
yeah.
But-
That makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
So we just don't want to blow our budget just on one
I mean,
project.
think of designing out tiles things. If someone were to change their mind ahead of time, it would make my life a lot easier than to go all the way through and design a backsplash for someone and then have to do it all over again. So.
I'll email Vanessa and I'll ask her, I mean.
And maybe it's not the way they work, but it would be worth asking.
No, they will.
I can't imagine they wouldn't.
No, they
Yeah.
will.
But I'll email Vanessa.
Well, and it
and-
would be a way to make things a little bit faster and the
Absolutely.
route to, if we could, I mean, we wanted to get this, we wanted things to be done at this point.
We wanted it to be
Spring.
done. Yeah,
So if
Last
we
year.
could, last year, yeah, so if we could
what's the goal?
really start and maybe have it completed by spring instead of starting by spring, it would be.
I'll ask her I'll ask her how long it takes to get the full survey.
Yeah.
Maybe they have it. I mean, I haven't heard, but I would assume once they have the full survey that they would let us know they have. the
Maybe
full
we can just
survey.
send a follow-up email and see
Yep.
what she says.
So we'll do that.
Great idea. Thank you. Abby.
You're welcome.
Yep, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Anyone else?
I do have one more point to make on that design. Are we sharing it with the neighbors to check it out at one point before it's completed? So,
I believe it had been shared that
We had shared the end design and we had taken everybody's
okay,
thoughts, and so that what we had originally ended with that everybody saw that we shared.
I've never seen it, other than the time I came here in the May meeting, I've never.
And that might be something we have to verify with Margot, because that was not, wouldn't have been obviously the board's responsibility to And maybe we have to verify that she had sent it out, because I believe it was either went by mail or email.
It went by email and then we had our DDA meeting that we shared with everybody.
So I guess maybe we want to make sure we have a correct email on file for you guys, going forward, so we can obviously alert you when, things are gonna be closed or when construction's gonna start and things like that, because it's gonna be the easiest form for us to contact everyone and get everyone on the same page.
So we'll do a group email for the neighbors. We'll do a directory and then we can send them what we're looking at. So it's open book. And if you have any comments, you redline it and get it back to us within a certain date.
We did that.
And we'll share that at 50, 75, and 100%. This way we have everybody agreeing on a design and not waiting till 100% and then we gotta go make changes. So.
But I will make a note that those. The comment, we're not going back to.
We're not going back to the drawing board.
I
No,
think that's a
merchants
very
committee.
slippery slope.
Yeah, I don't
Yes.
think that
We're
we need
playing
to-
with.
We are talking about everyone's
We-
approval within the
we-
DDA, not outside the DDA,
we-
because we approved a design. ahead of time.
We sent out the design
And I believe it's posted on our website.
It was on our website with
I-
the last meeting.
I think that's what you need to decide if is it, and then sorry, I'm just asking, because I wasn't part of the process in the beginning. When you go through, like, let's say we do the 50, 75, 100, would that be part
Based
of the
on-
packet and on your agenda and on the website?
Yes, because,
I mean,
but based on
yeah,
the design that we've already approved.
correct. So
So-
those individuals in the Merchants Walkway is what I'm asking.
Yeah,
Live
so-
there, could look on the agenda and
Yes.
say, this
and
is the
see-
50%, you can see the design if you post it.
Yes.
And it would have been, that meeting would have been
Posted
posted
online.
online.
Yeah, so that
It would have been
meeting,
recorded, so.
it was our May or June meeting when we finished and went through, like, we had a whole step-by-step slideshow that Vanessa gave us to show the fountain, and we showed all the walkways, we showed all the stairs, we showed all the posts,
Okay.
and we've already
And we went
shared.
through what we thought was gonna be too costly.
So
and
yeah,
what-
it was
what elements
available,
we
it
thought-
just wasn't personally possibly
Right, but it
sent out.
could still be out, I mean.
I believe it
It's-
was.
it
that
was.
Okay.
I just don't know exactly where it was sent.
But yeah. so
That's my question, that it was
Yeah, so
available.
that was
no matter
already,
what.
it's already on one of our, it was already in the, and I apologize for not knowing which one, it was the May or June meeting. And we had a whole show presentation from Vanessa that went through,
It was the main.
okay, then it would have been the June meeting. Because we had the whole Vanessa's slideshow of what we did, and we had met before that to check out differently.
that currently available?
Yeah,
I would assume
believe all
so,
of our
yeah.
meetings are available
June.
online.
It was the June 14th meeting. That was when we did the approval of the OHM engineering and bid quote.
So how do you see it now?
You can go back to the city website and just go to the June DDA meeting, and it's live streamed just like our city meetings
On YouTube.
on YouTube.
And then, so what we'll do is I'll see if, I'll ask Victor's opinion if we take out a small ad in the paper that says that it'll be available for viewing at City Hall. And we're a little bit ahead of ourselves if we say that it will be available at 50, 75%.
No, I don't
But
think we
we'll
need
find,
that.
we'll find that out.
But
And,
the approval, the one that we approved is already available for everybody.
correct, and that is approved. That's not going to
I can
change.
also make sure, I'm sure you and I can make sure that maybe that slideshow goes on the website.
Yeah.
So it's on our DDA website. Perfect.
Anything else? I shall go ahead and contact Becky today.
Okay.
And I think we can adjourn.
Do a follow-up email with Vanessa as well.
Oh, yeah, yep. Yep. And Victor,
I will second the adjournment.
who first did it?
Oh, I thought you were first.
Oh, no, I'm first.
I'll
Okay.
second.